Hi, everybody, and welcome back to Office Hours Politics Edition, the podcast where we dig into the politics behind everyday life, pop culture, global systems, and the part of power most people never see. Today's episode is one that I've been wanting to do for a long time because it brings everything we love on this show together. Empire, media, propaganda, cultural power, academia, and the small, seemingly innocent way that ideology gets baked into our everyday daily entertainment. Today, we're talking about Hollywood, the CIA, and the politics of storytelling. Not in a conspiracy theory way, not in a secret shadow government controlling movies way, but in a documented, declassified, confirmed through FOIA requests way. If you've ever wondered why the CIA looks so shiny, heroic, and morally righteous in films, why U.S. soldiers are always noble, brave, and self-sacrificing, why Middle Eastern men are always portrayed as terrorists, and why Hollywood rarely critiques U.S. foreign policy, and why certain movies get support from the Pentagon and others don't, then today's episode is going to explain exactly that. Because the truth is simple. Hollywood doesn't just reflect American power, it manufactures it. And the CIA, Pentagon, and intelligence community have been part of that process for decades. Let's get into it. Where did this relationship even come from? Let's start with the basics. How did the CIA even get involved in Hollywood? Why would an intelligence agency that's supposed to handle espionage be worried about movies? Well, because movies are one of the most powerful tools of influence in the world. The origin goes back to the Cold War. After World War II, the U.S. understood that shaping global culture mattered just as much as shaping global politics. So the CIA secretly funded magazines, art movements, orchestras, literary journals, and yes, eventually films. Why? To promote Western values, to undermine socialist or anti-imperial messaging. The CIA literally used culture as a battlefield, and honestly, it worked. By the 1990s, the Pentagon and CIA realized movies could do things propaganda pamphlets couldn't. Movies make you feel. They build national mythology. They humanize governments. They make war look heroic. They make empires seem natural. So in the 1990s, the CIA formalized what had already been happening behind the scenes and created the CIA Entertainment Office. A real office with a real budget with real staff. Their job? Work with Hollywood to portray the CIA in a positive, moral, heroic light. This isn't secret. This isn't a conspiracy. You can literally go to the CIA website right now and see it. They openly encourage filmmakers to contact them for support as long as the agency is portrayed accurately. And accurately is doing a lot of work in that sentence because in practice, that usually means positively. So that's how that relationship started. But how does it work? So let me explain the pipeline, because this is where people's minds usually get a little blown. Here's the basic formula. Hollywood wants access, the CIA wants control. If a filmmaker wants access to CIA advisors, use of helicopters, planes, tech, uniforms, props, inside help in making the story accurate, then the CIA will say, sure, but we want to see the script. And here's where script editing happens. They will literally remove scenes that portray the CIA negatively, rewrite characters, change plots, delete references to coups, tortures, or assassinations, add scenes that promote CIA's moral authority, reshape narratives to support U.S. foreign policy. And this isn't me speculating. We know this because the documents confirm it. Declassified emails confirm it. Filmmakers themselves have talked about it. Journalists have traced the edits. Academic research have written books about it. So what gets removed? Anything that makes the CIA look corrupt, violent, lawless, manipulative, responsible for foreign coups, involved in torture, or guilty of war crimes. And what gets added? Scenes where the CIA is heroic, smart, necessary, compassionate, morally conflicted but ultimately good, misunderstood by the public, protecting the world from evil. Basically, they turn the CIA into Marvel superheroes. And to Hollywood, this is a great trade-off. They get free equipment, advisors, access, legitimacy. But the cost is narrative control. Let's look at some case studies that make everything clear. Let's start with one that everyone knows, Top Gun. The Pentagon gave jets, aircraft carriers, pilots, equipment, filming access in exchange for script editing, removal of negative references, and changes to military cultural portray. When the movie first came out in 1986, the U.S. Navy recruitment literally increased. They had recruitment booths in theaters The Pentagon had said publicly Top Gun made the military look cool again. Top Gun Maverick 2022 got even more assistance, including access to multi-million-dollar fighter jets that no civilian could ever obtain. This is entertainment as recruitment, and it works. Dark Zero 30 is one of the most controversial CIA-assisted films ever created. Here's what happened. The filmmakers were given unprecedented CIA access. Things, classified details, senior CIA figures, inside accounts of intelligence operations. In exchange, the portrayal of CIA torture was clean, active, necessary, and morally conflicted, but ultimately justified. And here's the kicker. The Senate torture report later found that the torture did not help locate bin Laden. It produced zero useful intelligence. But millions of Americans believe that torture works today because they saw it in a movie. That is the power of the CIA-Hollywood relationship. Ergo is a perfect example of political storytelling. In reality, the Canadian ambassador and Canadian intelligence played the central role in rescuing American diplomats from Tehran. In the movie, the CIA becomes the main hero. Why? Because the CIA helped shape the narrative. The movie became a giant PR piece for the CIA, and most Americans now knowingly believe false history. Entertainment replaced reality. Homeland had CIA advisors on set. The result? Muslims portrayed as terrorists, Middle Eastern countries depicted as chaos, Islam shown as inherently dangerous, torture normalized, drone strikes rationalized. The show is basically a post-9/11 propaganda. Even actors in the show have been criticized for being racist. It's the war on terror dressed up as a drama. This one surprises people. Captain Marvel's production was directly associated with U.S. Air Force. Brie Larson trained on air bases. The Air Force used the film in recruitment ads targeting young women. The message, join the military. It's empowering, feminist, and heroic. But here's the question. Why does the military need Marvel to recruit? Because symbolism works, representation works, soft power works. That's the point. So why does the CIA put so much effort into films? Why do they care about how spies, soldiers, and wars look? Because film does what politics can't. Films shape collective memory. People remember scenes more than textbooks. Films simplify geopolitics. The world becomes good versus evil. America is good and their enemies are bad. Films justify foreign policy. Invading countries look heroic when it's framed as saving the world. Films normalize surveillance. When the CIA spies in movies, it looks necessary. Films humanize violent institutions. Agents become reliable, charming, and brave. Films manufacture consent. This is straight out of Herman Chomsky. Consent is not forced, it's created through media, through stories, through culture. But who loses? There are real consequences to this. Islamophobia becomes normalized. Decades of movies depicting Arabs and Muslims as terrorists equate to public fear, support for war, for surveillance, higher rates of hate crimes. Wars get sanitized, torture, coups, drone strikes, all rewritten as historic. Anti-imperial stories get erased. There is no blockbuster about Palestine, about Iraqi civilian casualties, about US-supported dictatorships, American coups in Latin America, CIA torture black sites. Those movies don't get made. And if they do, they don't get supported financially or culturally. America becomes the permanent protagonist. Hollywood is global. People in every continent absorb these narratives. U.S. power becomes mythologized. This is not an accident. This is the point. So to wrap it up, Hollywood, not neutral. The CIA is not just watching, it's participating. Movies are not just entertainment, they're political texts. We don't need to stop enjoying movies, but we should understand the structure shaping them, because once you see the patterns, you can't unsee it. Hollywood is a storyteller, but the CIA often holds the pen. Thank you guys so much for listening to this quick little episode on Office Hours Politics Edition. I'm your host, Sienna Ali, and if you enjoyed this little dive, feel free to share the podcast. You can leave a little comment, a like, follow my Instagram, and let me know which propaganda film you've been watching recently. Until next time, stay curious, stay critical, and stay politically aware. Bye, guys.